I do think there's probably a lot of instances out there where companies have just been too, not afraid, probably the wrong word, but too hesitant to actually make that move and kind of rock the boat as such. Because again, talking about paying people here, and what can happen is, well, again, questions from maybe higher up in the organization will be, well, hold on a minute, are we paying everyone on time? Yes. How are we getting there? Well, we don't really like how we're getting there. That's one of the reasons we want to move. And the answer could be, well, look, we are paying people on time, we're achieving that. So therefore, let's stay where we are and not make that change. So, and again, budgets can be involved. Like, it's what you may be saving in the long term by moving. It might be it's an expensive uptake to start with in terms of implementations, things like that. So again, there's a lot of moving parts involved. And yeah, I think those moving parts can often scare companies. And obviously, there's lots of companies out there that are happy with their offering, right? I'm sure there's plenty out there that are happy with their provider, and things are going well. I mean, I wouldn't say perfect. Nothing's ever, especially in the way things work today. But yeah, I think for those guys that are unhappy, you probably still do have that percentage of companies that are still very wary about moving, mainly probably because of what I just said in terms of, are you swapping one thing for the same thing? And that all comes down to kind of doing your research and finding what's out there. And I do think that's why you're probably seeing a lot more global payroll manager roles these days, or kind of newly, like for example, my last two roles have been newly created roles at the time of taking them. And I think that's because companies are now understanding the importance of the payroll piece a bit more, and realizing that they do need kind of experts in that area, rather than just making these decisions from a company point of view, or from this works in the US, so therefore it must work everywhere else. Kind of, again, that's something else you might see over time. But yeah, I think there's just a lot more, not respect for it now, but there's kind of a lot more importance placed on it in terms of getting it right and having the correct payroll strategy in place.